and welcome to the third round.
Third round, yeah.
The third round of the Legacy Warm-Up FNM of the Austrian Legacy Masters. We are here with round 3. We have 2 monocolored decks. We have...
Wow, yeah. Who would have thought that in round 3 we are already seeing another monocolored deck? It's like monocolor is the new flavor of the month.
But the key thing is both of those are actually monocolored deck, but in real life they are 2-color deck. They play a lot of colorless lands, so they have some restrictions. Yeah. But yeah,
and the really interesting thing is that these monocolored decks have mostly the most unstable mana bases in Legacy.
Yeah, I mean, mono red Stompy is really hard to play. Like Painter, it's like you have so many colorless lands in there that it's sometimes really hard to hit the colored sources. But I think now we chime in a little bit with the players. They are currently still in the shuffling situation. And
on the left side, we have Dominik Repper. And on the right side, Peter Lobotka. Both of, I'm thinking, from Slovakia. Yeah. So again, another Slovakian player on the top tables. These guys are just insane. They are so great. They are so good. They play so much Legacy and always try to to better themselves at the game. They're always learning, always trying to improve.
Yeah, the community in Slovakia is like insane. They have so many good and strong players. Like Samuel Zahochak, who won the first ELM. It's insane how good they perform, and yeah, it's a pleasure to watch them play and learn from them. But here we have a really interesting start on the side of Dominik Repper with a City of Traitors
and a Chromox.
And a Chromox, which pitches something and then will be something good to be cast for 3 mana,
hopefully,
right?
no Blood Moon. And it's a Rebel Master. That's beatable for Peter.
But it's one of the strongest clocks that we have out there. So...
Like, you know what's also a really good clock? Planar Nexus into Urza's Tower into the One Ring.
Which would be actually a good thing to play, yeah. Yeah, it's the dream come true. Urza's Tower together with Planar Nexus into the One Ring. It buys a lot of time. He can't attack this turn. You gain need a board wipe on the next turn.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's... But which are the board wipes that you can play?
I'm unsure. Another One Ring would be good.
And another One Ring? Maybe... No, Oldest Dust is not really played in the deck.
I don't know. I don't actually know. I mean, these are probably the most broken starts of both decks that I have ever seen.
Yeah, for this turn we would have needed Peter to cast into like a Mycosynth spawn, but yeah.
A Sowing Myco spawn, yeah.
A Sowing Myco spawn. But yeah, it seems like pretty much...
Is this game?
It could be.
Is it the infamous turn 3 kill out of Mono Red Stompy?
I mean, on the next turn he attacks for 5, would be 10, would be 14, would be 19 damage on the next turn. And I think he has the Goblin Bombardier in hand, so...
So yeah, that seems like game 1 is already over.
Yeah, you really needed a One Ring.
Yeah, don't forget to start the timer.
Yeah. Otherwise, to the One Ring, you don't really know what you can do.
We have an Eye of Ugin. And we have 6 mana at the moment.
Yeah, I mean the how is it called? The River Muscle doesn't trample, so you can throw in something.
You can throw in a Myco spawn, which buys you, I think, 1 turn.
But I mean, it goes through because you need 1 green and 1 colorless to cast a Myco spawn, and to kill your opponent's land, which apparently will hinder the future acceleration of Dominik Repper. But yeah, what does
Or,
it do?
or does another Wandering. Okay, we have a Spirit Guide in hand.
So he can ramp himself?
Yeah, is it the Sowing Mucus spawn?
Yeah,
I
it's the
can't.
Sowing Mythos
Yeah.
one. Hardcast for maximum mana, and he will blow up the land. He gets another land. Maybe he goes for Glacial Chasm or something like that.
Glacial Chasm could be really good here. It gives him a lot of time.
But yeah, the window pretty much closes in the near future. So
He has to go. Wow. I think that's even a better play here. Have you seen it? Or did you miss
a
it?
Tabernacle. It's so good.
Into Vexing Bauble.
Wow.
No more Chromox. This monogreen Cloudpost deck. This is.
I mean,
oh my god.
he will still hit for damage on the next turn, but yeah,
Why?
because he gets another token and then the attack can attack.
Okay, yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense because there is a blocker out there, so it seemed pretty much game over, and now he's fully alive and happy.
Yeah.
The big swings of the new cards are so insane.
But these cards, I think, are not on the same power level as Modern Horizons 2 or Modern Horizons 1. Not as format shaking up for Modern Horizons 3. It's more like there are good cards out there. They're pretty much playable all the time. Also, kind of a lot of format staples, but it's nothing like Hogak was in Modern. Nothing like Ragavan
was in Legacy.
Yeah. These are the things that we don't really want to see. Or Grief now. It was also Modern Horizons 2 card.
Yeah, it will be interesting how in the long run shake up, because like Grief was also a pretty slow starter, was often regarded as like the second worst elemental just
for a long time
before Subtlety. But yeah, the Cloudpost deck got completely revamped, and it looks so sweet. It's a slow deck that really can drive, can really empower a lot of plays you can do. It seems versatile with a lot of answers nowadays to spell-based decks with Vexing Bauble and the Disruptor Flute in the main deck, which previously, if you played Storm against like Cloudpost, you were happy for the buy, but nowadays you still have to put in a fight to win the game.
Yeah, because of Vexing Bauble.
And the Disruptor Flute, like
and the Wandering.
I've seen Doomsday players play like the line, and right before they could cast Oracle, Disruptor Flute for Savsos Oracle, and then it was game over. So yeah,
I gotta admit, these monochrome Cloudpost lists, I'm not a Cloudpost player or these kind of ramp deck player normally, but this is very intriguing. It's just, it's not I don't want to say it's clean, but it's just such a nice deck, and I really love all the interactions between the cards. Just great. I would love this deck just to play.
Yeah, it's like you have so many different lines, and one thing I really like is toolbox style, and with crop rotation you have the toolbox card with Sowing Mycosperm.
Spawn.
you have another toolbox card, and yeah, then you have the powerful cards of Karn. The Wandering.
Sowing Mycospawn was the game changer here.
He won the game.
He won the game. I mean, the Wandering was also great, but the Mycospawn has run all the way. Just a little free. Getting the Tabernacle.
And this is in such a deck, it's so key to have the Tabernacle, because a lot of times like Tabernacle is the card that drives you away from like land-based strategies because it's like way too expensive, and for me like 1500 it's like way too much. But in such a deck without the Tabernacle,
It's unplayable.
this game was game over.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, you could have played Glacial Chasm
yeah.
as a tutor target or as a substitution for Tabernacle, but it's nowhere near the power of Tabernacle.
Yeah, it's just a temporary solution.
Yeah.
Not more. And yeah, Tabernacle was the permanent solution that you really needed. And if you don't have 1,500 euros lying around,
Then come to Linz because we allow proxies.
perfect setup. But yeah, here we have the sideboarding. What changes now after boarding?
I think I'm unsure that if Dominic plays Blood Moon main deck.
Okay.
So if there aren't any Blood Moons main deck, then they will for sure come in now. I think Chalices aren't that great.
And I think I've seen Trinisphere being boarded out.
Yeah, because it's also Trinisphere is normally such an extreme powerhouse against pretty much, I think, 90% of the Legacy metagame. But it's just this one deck. I think the curve starts at 3.
Yeah, I mean with Eye of Ugin, you may cast the Sowing Mykosperm Swarm for 2, not 3 mana, but yeah, it's only attacks of 1 mana, so it doesn't really matter. And on the other hand, we may see Peter boarding out Waxing Bauble, because like, what does it really do after boarding against Dominic?
I think Vexing Bauble is a card that can stay in the main deck, can stay in the deck when you're on the play.
Yeah.
Because it's great as your first turn play.
And it de-accelerates your opponent.
So no more Chrome Mogs, no more Lotus Petals. All these funny little things don't work anymore. So no turn 1 Blood Moons. Or mostly no turn 1 Blood Moons because it can still exile a Simian Spirit Guide from the hand. But if you're on the play, I think that's a surefire card to come out.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem that great, but we still have Disruptor Flute. Disruptor Flute would be great for something like the Rebel Master. Because but only if you can cast it before the threshold for the Rebel Master. It's like only good on turn 1 or turn 2 against a really, really slow start from Mono Red Stompy, as we have seen in the first round of the tournament.
And Disruptor Flute also says activated abilities can't be played, right? Yeah. Okay,
but not triggered. So because Rebel Master is a triggered ability.
Yeah, but Broadside Bombardiers. I'm thinking about Broadside Bombardiers. Yeah. Shutting out Broadside Bombardiers is also a really good thing to do, actually.
Yeah. Because like Broadside really,
we saw it in game 1. Broadside into, there's the Magus of the Moon. Broadside into Fury.
Yeah.
For 7 damage is pretty great.
It's really, really strong. And what do we see here?
Maybe a Dismember?
Yeah, Dismember is a card that Mono Green Cloudpost traditionally played to answer Magus of the Moon. Because you don't need any green mana. It isn't Force of Vigorable. And Force of Vigor is a card that we may even see here. And yeah.
Yeah, not right now. I'm pretty sure because it doesn't have enough targets. But just dismembering a Magus of the Moon. Yeah, there's Dismember.
And for the next turn, I'm really expecting a Planar Nexus. Okay. So it was even in the main phase. Yeah.
That's a play I don't really get. Just because you get the 2 life. Is it worth it? Maybe Dominic has another Magus.
Okay.
What's that?
Force of Vigor.
Force of Vigor, okay, for the Fable.
In the upkeep of Dominic before the trigger happens at the start of the main phase. So still a 2/2 running around, creating treasure token, which is still not nothing. But you have now exactly the mana to cast. You own the One Ring.
Okay, what's that?
Is this a Winter Orb? or
I don't know this card.
a Torpor Orb.
Torpor Orb, okay. Yeah, with all these new artworks,
Is this a reprint of Torpor Orb?
I'm not sure, maybe Secret Lair or something.
Yeah,
Torpor Orb. From which set is this?
This is the extended, how is this called? The
big
big
score.
score.
Okay, wow.
Okay, it's pretty new, so we are allowed to have missed it, because I missed so many the big score.
Yeah, there are so many new cards all the time. But that's a really great card here. No,
Do you know which
it doesn't stop Muco spawn because it's a card trigger.
Yeah.
The Torpor Orb is kind of lackluster, actually.
Which card does it really stop out of? Most Eldrazi cast trigger. Yeah.
The token doesn't work anymore. Okay, it's gone.
It's gone.
Okay, yeah. Because it plussed it. Okay, totally get this. And Broadside Bombardier.
And now we don't see anything here. He attacks him, he attacks him. 2/2.
Going to 2/1.
Okay, going to 4. Maybe something flies now into the face of the card. Maybe
a Fury.
A Torpor Orb.
Or a Torpor Orb. That's possible with the... Yeah, you can target players, so you can target planeswalkers.
You can target anything. Any target you want.
Still the Soy Miku spawn will get the job done.
Yeah. The thing is like, okay, we have another Eye of Ugin. We have 1, 4, 5, 6, 8 mana for an Eldrazi.
Is this enough? Not really.
No. We need something more. I mean, a Planar Nexus would empower the whole board so much.
The Planar Nexus would have been the better land to play here.
Yeah, it's like the one thing that is missing up from turn 3. Because like Wizard's Tower, yeah, it has big upset with Planar Nexus, but without the Planar Nexus, it's just a bad waste.
Yeah.
Without the basic. And yeah.
Yeah, that's also what I really like about this new Planar Nexus Wizard's Tower combo, because it's not a one card combo. Planar Nexus in itself isn't great. Wizard's Tower in itself isn't great, but together they are just boom, insane.
Yeah, and Planar Nexus does so much for the deck. It's not only every type, so it's strong for the post, for the Wizard's Tower. It can also filter mana, so you can pay 1 generic mana and make it into any color you want, which is needed because like the green count in a deck like Mono Green Cloudpost is really bad.
Yeah, like we said beforehand, monocolored decks have the worst mana imaginable.
Yeah, it's really horrible. If you remember Death and Texas,
yeah,
Painter,
yeah,
Stompy, Cloudpost, those are all monocolored deck.
Also, traditionally, Pox has problems with black count, although they're playing 26 lands or something.
Was Merfolk at the time with Richard and Poison Wasteland?
I think so. They also can skimp on mana because of Intervile, and sometimes that comes back and bites them in the ass.
Because like double blue is really bad. So it's like only green, mono green decks don't have historically bad mana bases.
Yeah,
I mean we have Cloudpost, so
yeah.
we have for every color a deck with a bad mana base that's monocolored.
I think the only monocolored deck that doesn't have a bad mana base but mostly loses to itself is Burn.
True. But do we see here the traditional attacking style of Stompy? Do we have another
Dismember? No.
Another Dismember?
Spirit Guide into crop rotation?
Yeah.
Wait. What are you doing right now?
A Tabernacle would have been great now.
Oh yeah!
Please tell me it's Tabernacle.
Or a chasm. Chasm would also be good.
Chasm would also be. I mean, he's tapped down. No, he has a treasure token now.
Yeah.
And with this timestamp, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I think Peter just needs 1 or 2 turns at max, so Glacial Chasm really works here.
Glacial Chasm should be good. I mean, he has to get rid of the shooting problem of the Goblin Bombardier. But otherwise, I think he can get into the right place.
I think not going for the chasm here leads to defeat.
I mean,
then if you don't get the chasm, then you're dead to fury.
Yeah, but I think he
I
has
called
the fury.
it.
Yeah.
Called it.
Otherwise, he would have had 7 mana to search for something, and next turn Emrakul for the win.
Yeah, yeah, and the chasm. The chasm gives him so much time because Dominic would have needed a Magus of the Moon.
Yeah.
To punch through, and it's 2 turns at max for Peter to just go chasm into Emrakul, chasm into Ulamog or something.
Yeah, it's the top end of Cloudpost is really strong. It's like we have a pretty similar matchup now in game 3 in match 3 now to match 1, where we had Enchantress versus Mono Red Stompy, where you always have the inevitability. At some point in the game, you are so far ahead that Mono Red Stompy can do what it wants. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, it's like you need a strong, fast draw. You can really affect your opponent by Magus or Blood Moon effects. Also, you need the good answer on the side of Peter for stuff like, how's it called? The goblin, the goblin army at the first few turns.
Yeah,
it's will be interesting how it fares out.
Okay, let's take a look. They're drawing their cards. Looks like Dominic is keeping his 7 Chromox Fable, Mountain, Blood Moon, Ancient Tomb. Who do you think is favored now?
On the play, definitely Peter.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I think this matchup is mostly decided by winning the coin flip. Or not really decided, but it's like you have a 10% better chance to win.
Yeah, definitely. On the side of Peter, like he had the answer for the Blood Moon, he had the answer for the Magus of the Moon, so he was really good prepared. But on
no turn 1 Blood Moon here.
On the other hand, there were like a lot of small but fast creature stats that can push through.
And we talked about that before game 2. Vexing Bauble in the how's it called? On the play is great.
Yeah, it deaccelerates your opponent. And I think here we just wait for Peter to find the right spot. This would be a great spot to cycle your Vexing Bauble and cast a Force of Vigor, or you just randomly cast a One Ring on turn 4 and play fair
mountains.
magic.
Discarding Chalice and the Chromox because they can't do anything.
And cast your own One Ring? I mean, a backup Magus of the Moon would also be great.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, here it is. Backup Magus of the Moon.
And now it will be hard for him to get through.
Yeah, I don't know why he kept the Chalice on the draw.
Yeah, the Chalice of On. I mean, it stops crop rotation, which is a huge thing. But yeah, he's just drawing cards. and at some point you can just exile Elvish Spirit Guide to cast a Mycospawn. I mean, he's still missing the colorless mana for his kicker to search out the land.
But he will draw so many cards with the One Ring. And that, I gotta admit, the clock of Dominic isn't that high at the moment.
Yeah, it isn't that great. But to answer this question, why he kept the Chalice on the draw, I would say there are still some cards where it is impactful. But on the other hand, it's like not that great, and I don't think there are that many cards in the sideboard of Dominic to replace cards from the main deck. Because like Trinisphere doesn't really do anything. At least Chalice of the Void counters something indefinitely.
What's this?
Which card?
The new one.
On the bottom, a Goblin Bombardier or a Khan on the side of Peter.
Yeah, the one is is it a Broadside Bombardiers?
This is a Broadside Bombardier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cast for 6 mana actually. No, it's like I think the favor is also active now.
No, they just flipped.
They just flipped. Okay, because otherwise
it would be game over.
Should be pretty much because like 2, 4, 6, yeah.
So now, is it Force of Vigor? No, it's a Dismember Broadside Bombardiers. Yeah, you have to do this. Unfortunately.
So we are still missing the answer for the moons, and I think we're just playing mono red both.
Seems like it, yeah. Blood Moon is winning this matchup. You know what would be great? Another One Ring.
I think we will see one for sure in the near future.
And another Blood Moon. Oh. I mean, it's still you only need a Force of Vigor and a Dismember.
Yeah. But in the near future, you need an answer for the favor too. I don't think there is something.
Nah, I don't think. I think this game is pretty much over.
I mean, if you can tune in another One Ring and then for a Lattice and then do some stuff, I can see it. But at first, you need another One Ring. So just draw 3, get a One Ring, do some stuff, maybe get an Lattice.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to Force of Vigor beforehand to get rid of a Fable and the Blood Moon or only the Blood Moons. But it's pretty hard.
Wait, but if you play the Yavi... No, okay, it doesn't work.
No.
It's just strange. Yavi Maya and Blood Moons.
I don't think it works that way because it's not... I'm pretty sure it doesn't because if it would, we would have known it since a long time because of Urborg.
Yeah.
But it's something.
Yeah.
Something with layers.
Layers, enough said.
Yeah, it's...
With a Karn, we have 6 mana.
But the Lattice is now bad because you lose the Karn on the next turn.
And Snaring Bridge.
With 8 cards in hand.
Okay.
fair point.
Fair point.
I'm also always thinking about a Snaring Bridge, but in this case, with the One Ring out there, it's so bad.
Maybe you should play one ring in the sideboard.
I think they're doing that. I will just look up some
lists on Goldfish.
Some lists on Goldfish. We want to have the Legacy meta game in here. We want to have mono green Cloudpost.
Okay, it's not even on the most played decks.
But it's really strong in the hands of...
Yeah. Another
Future Sight? No. Future... How is the player called that always plays?
Fake Futurism.
Fake Futurism, yeah. colorless
green.
Cloudpost.
Yeah,
No, green Cloudpost. I think
this is it. Yeah. And I think Peter has gotten it out of the sideboard.
no, those are bad lists. And
Yeah, bad lists that don't play One Ring in the sideboard.
no, they play Primeval Titan.
Oh yeah, Primeval Titan is the bad Muku spawn.
Yeah, it's the old list. We wanna see lists that play Sowing Muku spawn.
So we have now a Disruptor Flute, probably on Fable.
That's true.
So Peter is still in the game. Goes okay, doesn't go down to anything because he has protection from everything with the One Ring. Yeah, you can copy something you want. It doesn't really matter because protection.
I am still searching for the right list. And we want a card in the main deck like Urza Tower.
Okay, what does the wrong ring says? The one ring, the wrong ring.
The right ring.
The right ring. The
So
one ring.
We have typically no the one ring in the board. No, we have the one ring in the main deck. But Disruptor Flute can turn off on the one hand Broadside or even Fable.
I think a Fable was called.
And then we need another the one ring.
Another the one ring.
Yeah, it's like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana.
it's
Is it enough?
not really. I mean,
you could go Exile Spirit Guide, Exile Spirit. Oh, another one ring.
you need the one ring. You need the protection, and you don't really have the time because you kind of need Armageddon into Tabernacle without any Magus
You
on
have
the board.
to how's it called? Cycle the bobble. I think that the turn where he should have cycled the bobble is 3 or 4 times already.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we even got a judge in the chat, and Blood Moon overrides it because it's a static effect, and this static effect deletes the ability of Urbog, and therefore it is not. I'm not sure where the difference is with Painter and Oko back in the days, but I will take it. Or Dreston even, because like Dreston also deletes something, but this is layer 7 and the one thing is layer
And
5.
now he runs into his own vexing bobble because he didn't sack it before playing Force of Vigor.
That's something.
I mean,
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, this costs for sure the game.
Or he plays another the One Ring.
The fourth one, I don't think so. I think that's too much.
He's not allowed to play anymore.
Yeah. But we have 8 mana, exiling 2 Spirit Guides for an Ulamog is not enough.
Exiling which cards?
2 Spirit Guides for the
which cards of the opponent? You need to exile like Fable.
You need to exile at least
Fable and the how's it called, the copy dude? The
Magus. No, the Broadside.
The Broadside, yeah.
I would say I think it doesn't really matter.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, yeah, but
my pick would be Magus of the Moon and Broadside Bombardiers. Because the token, I mean, yeah, we've got a Splinter Twin situation. It's just whatever you do is just fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much game over here.
Yeah, it would. If you would have cycled the bobble beforehand, I think 3 turns ago, the Force of Vigor would have been alive. Would have killed at least 2 Blood Moon.
Then you may have a dismember, and then you have like infinite mana.
Yeah, and the 4th One Ring.
I called it.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm the better magic player in here.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe just play the One Ring, then you survive for another turn. No, it's like keeping on the strings, and with Glacial Chasm, you don't take any damage or don't take any combat damage.
Don't take any damage. But you lose 2 life for every upkeep, for every cumulative upkeep.
You may choose not to, but you would lose 2 life every upkeep. And I mean, Glacial Chasm doesn't really do anything because of 3 Blood Moon effects out there.
And that's why this. Yeah, I mean, you can argue for the dismember the first broadside. You can argue for that, but Vexing Bauble should have been sacked long ago.
Yeah.
So at least your Force of Vigor would have been
Jealous on 4.
Wait, what? Jealous on 4?
Yeah.
No, on 3.
No, on 4 he sacked the 2 treasures
Oh.
currently made, so no 5th the One Ring.
Well, that doesn't work. I'm pretty sure. Hardcasting Emrakul is also not possible.
You don't have the mana.
You don't have the colorless for Kozilek's command.
Yeah, it's the mana with you don't have the basics for the stuff. Because like, do they play even
2 forests?
2 forests, yeah. But on the one side, I think like would a sowing would a waste not be kinda okay?
Probably, but it's just such a niche case.
And it doesn't really allow you to cast the Kozilek's command. It's only for the kick of sowing Mucospawn. Yeah, maybe it's not enough.
Why waste are for Kozilek's command?
You need 2 wastes for Kozilek's command.
Yeah, but it makes it easier.
And sowing Mucospawn, you need the 1 colorless for kicking. But yeah, you can't really duplicate the colorless mana, so yeah, you don't get another Scion. But yeah, here we are like in the end step of Dominic Rapper's turn. And yeah, what is some stuff that he can do? I mean, he's playing Walking Ballista in the board, but this is most likely only accessible via Karn. And
Haywire Might doesn't really work because you need the green mana. Okay, Blood Moon is now gone. Oh, I totally missed the second Force of Vigor.
Yeah, so we now need...
What can he do now? Maybe this member doesn't work. He's on 5.
How the hell resolved Force? I mean, it's in response to the Force of
to the Chalice.
To the Chalice.
Response to the Chalice, Force of Vigor.
And now he has a Chalice on 4.
Yeah. How can he kill the Magus without dying?
Because like you need 4 life to cast.
Does Ulamog? No, Ulamog costs 10, but no colorless.
Ulamog just costs simply 10. The thing is like he has 3 Glimmer posts out there, 1 Planar Nexus and another post. So the 3 post lands would make 50 mana. He has 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 mana out there.
If the Magus dies.
If the Magus dies, yeah. So it's pretty hard.
A Walking Ballista for 4?
I mean, would...
Walking Ballista for 4 could work. I mean, then you still have an insane amount of mana because you've got a Planar you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
but
posts.
You can't really access the Walking Ballista because it's in the board and you have to resolve a Karn for it. Okay, the Vesuva is now a simple mountain which won't do anything again if the Magus dies. And you can't really kill the Magus because there's still...
Yavimaya. So, when the Magus dies, it produces green.
Okay, yeah. But if he targets the Magus, he simply copies it with the flipped Fable, and then you have the Magus effect for another turn, which should be
No.
good
Disruptor
enough.
Flute is on the Fable.
Okay, then
Should have been on the Fable.
should have been in a Fable.
That doesn't work. You also don't have the Splinter Twin situation anymore. So the thing here is you have to kill Magus. And then you can maybe go for an Ulamog, kill Broadside Bombardiers and the second Fable. Or one of the tokens, but I think the tokens vanish at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
What's that? It's an Ulamog.
It's an Hastcast Ulamog.
I think that's not enough. Maybe it's enough because you can kill Magus, you can kill Broadside Bombardiers. The two copies, the copy tokens should be gone.
No, those are Fable tokens, not copy tokens.
Fable tokens.
Yeah.
Copy from Fable.
No, this should be the 2/2 the 2/2 goblin token that makes a mana.
Okay.
And now he got rid of exactly the two creatures that you wanted to get rid of. If there is one damage more somewhere out there, it's game over. And another Goblin Bombardier.
A lot of lands and a Simian Spirit Guide. That's not enough here.
That's not enough.
And suddenly the floodgates are open. For sure block the Fable.
Yeah.
Easiest block of my life.
Now it's
And Peter goes down to 1. Peter goes down to 1. I think it wasn't right here to attack with the Fable. It would be right to
wait for a turn.
Copy the Fable and attack with the copy. So you still have both Fables on board.
That's true, because you have enough mana lying around.
And now the floodgates are open.
Mana unlocked.
It's in my opinion, it's over now. Dominic
I think he's
was very unlucky with his One Ring draws.
With the one post, he should have enough mana to Eye of Ugin for another
For an Emrakul.
And he's playing a Glimmer Post with so much mana. It's so much life, +6 life.
Yeah, you don't need it. You simply search for an Eye of Ugin, search for a Emrakul, cast Emrakul, take your extra turn.
And you have 1, 2,
and
14,
that's game.
15, 17.
Woo, that's game. Where did Dominic lose this? What? Did he play something wrong? I don't think Dominic did anything wrong in this matchup. I think the thing that Dominic did lose to was just his draw from the One Ring. The 3 lands or the 2 lands and the Simian Spirit Guide weren't simply enough. Maybe he should have copied the Fable and attacked with the copy and the 2 tokens.
But I think at this point it was already pretty much over.
Yeah.
I think it would have been way more to look at, way more few earlier turns. So, but yeah, it seems you have to pretty much go with the game in detail, and I think you have to be kind of an expert on the deck if you like really know the ins and outs at the position. But yeah, overall we can just say Peter played pretty well. And one thing, and I want Phil to say the number with me, was really, really important.
Wait,
And
what?
and this is, which number was really important? It was 4
Ah, yeah, the
and,
skeleton.
and 1.
4 and 1,
Because he played basically for the One Ring, yeah.
Well, that was nice actually, but yeah.
But yeah, I think both played pretty well over the span of the 3
Yeah,
games.
there were just some little mistakes, like the vexing bobble into Fossil Figure.
The own waxing bubble for
Yeah,
the own
for sure.
force of Vega. But yeah,
And I for myself, I would have cycled the vexing bobble way before, because after turn 3, they're simply pretty much useless.
there was only basically, it stopped your opponent from early mana developing, and when your opponent is at 5 or 6 mana, it
Or at
simply
4,
doesn't
yeah.
make any more sims. I mean, 5 still gives you Hardcast Fury,
Yeah.
and a 3/3 body would have been really, really great on the board. But afterwards, you don't have anything for 6, 7. I mean, for 8, you have Jealous of the Void for 4. But if you can just casually cast your 10th drop of your 9 lands and exiling a Simian Spirit Guide, just as Simian Spirit Guide or every Spirit Guide were developed of cards, it seems great.
Oh, for sure. That's what we're here for. Really nice matches of Legacy. I'm pretty stoked about the future of Mono Green Cloudpost.
Yeah, it looks so interesting. It has a lot of tools, and there were some pretty strong draws on the side of
Of Peter.
of Peter, and Dominic's was really exciting to watch the 2 guys play.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm also really excited about how the meta will shake up once Grief is gone. I mean, we already did a whole episode. It's our newest episode. It aired today on in the
Spotify,
afternoon.
YouTube.
It's basically on YouTube and Spotify. So go ahead and check us out. It's in response, a Legacy podcast on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. It would help us out tremendously. So thank you very much. I think with this, we switch things up, go into a little short break, and we see you again for the 4th round. Thank you very much.
See you guys and girls.